Hey, we're back for, week 7, sort of. I keep forgetting because we released 3 on one day. So it's really like is it the 4th time we've done this? 5th? I don't fucking know. But
I have no idea.
I did actually manage to have time to re-listen to episode 7, The Moth, this week. It is a Charlie-centric episode. It is Ben's second presentation of the episode, and I actually had time to listen to it, and guess what? I made some notes. So I've listened to all these 100 fucking times while editing and stuff, but it's been a long time since I actually listened to this episode. And the last few of these intros that we've done, I've been too busy to re-listen to them. Because I went back to school, guys, so I'm just doing homework all the damn time. But I have a few things about this. Before that, of course, let me point out, obviously, you can see that Derek is not here. He is in Las Vegas playing in a poker tournament. We do record these on Sunday mornings, which is why I'm legit in my pajamas still, guys. I should say it's morning for Ben and I. It's afternoon for Christy or Derek because we are on the West Coast. But anyway, so Derek is playing cards and winning money. Hopefully he'll be back with us for this pre-show next week. Christy, did you...
With a lot of money.
Oh, let's hope. Christy, did you have time to listen to the episode as well?
Not this week. I listened to it last week when I listened to last week's episode. And the weekend got away from me, so I didn't have a chance to re-listen today, but it's a really good one.
Okay. So yes, it is a really good one. And it was funny because I think we've asked the question a few times amongst us, like when we kind of felt like we hit our stride with the podcast. And for me, it was right around, they started gelling at like 5 or 6, but in this episode, it's really good. It's really funny. But I was actually thinking I'm starting to feel slightly gelled into like these videos as well. Because I can't plan things. I have to do them. And then if I don't like it, I make changes until it's perfect. And so we're getting there with these videos. So here's something I'm going to do. And we're going to start putting this on the page every week as well. I had an idea that each episode has its own sort of ethical dilemmas and questions, right? So what we're going to start doing every week is we're going to talk about what we would do if we were them. So this week, Charlie is trying to kick his heroin habit while he's on the island. And Locke has his drugs and tells him, if you ask me 3 times, I will give you your drugs back. So what I want to know is, if you had a friend who was a drug addict, would you give them drugs if they asked for it, or would you withhold?
I would absolutely withhold.
You would? Why?
So I currently have someone in my life who is trying to detox on her own. And it's a really bad idea from heroin.
Oh, oof.
So, yeah. And she's a few hours away from me. There's not really a whole lot I can do for her. But yeah, if I was with her, I would absolutely not give her any drugs. I would try to get her into a program, but obviously there's no programs on the island.
There's not, although Locke is kind of his own program, I guess. He's rehabbing survivors one at a time. Ben, what would you do? What would you, if you were literally holding drugs and your drug addict friend asked you to hand them over, what would you do?
Well, I mean, in this specific instance, are you saying if I was on the island, if I were in Locke's position, or just in general?
No, if that's how you want to answer it, that's fine. But it's kind of open-ended, whatever scenario you can think of.
Yeah, I mean, if were I on the island, then I would not let them have the drugs, because drugs like that would be more useful as painkillers.
Yep.
Which we do mention in the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, with a bunch of people who, are on an island who aren't used to living out and roughing it like that, there's going to be injuries. So yeah, I would use that purely for the sort of medicinal uses, and I wouldn't let somebody abuse them. Outside of that, if we're talking specifically about heroin and I were holding and they wanted it, I mean, it sort of depends. Ideally, I wouldn't give them anything. But at the same time, if they were headed towards withdrawals and they had no other way of fighting that, then I would allow them to have some with the notion that you're not going to get any, you're not going to get any more. We're going to trail this off, and you're going to need to be in recovery by the time this runs out.
So you would give the drugs, but down. You would titrate it until it was nothing. Yep. Actually, yeah.
Is that how they do it in rehab?
Well,
if you use methadone,
yeah, they use methadone.
Okay.
But that's, I mean, it's a similar thing because the methadone is going to do similar stuff to you. I was actually given methadone once when I was in the hospital and was shocked at it. Surprised me because I was like, really? This is the drug they use to get you off heroin? Because it's got me pretty fucking high. But yeah, I guess, you know what? I wasn't even sure how I was going to answer this question. But Ben, I think you kind of hit it on the nose there. If they were suffering or in really bad withdrawals, to like give a little bit, but say this is with the stipulation that maybe we're going to the hospital later or something like that. Yeah, that's good. That makes sense.
Hit it on the nose. That's funny.
Oh. Well, I guess so. I think you don't, I mean, you do snort heroin, I suppose, but I don't think that's the number one route that people take it through.
No.
Okay. So other stuff on my notes here. So this was something that I noticed that, I was only able to ascertain because we have actually finished recording this entire season. So in this episode, Charlie says to his brother, while he's at the door, his brother's door in Sydney, where he's living, he says to him, I gotta go. I have a plane to catch. But in the season finale, in Hurley's flashback, Charlie is in the elevator at the hotel going to the airport. He is not at his brother's house. So that's a continuity issue in the show that's never occurred to me because I've never watched episode 7 just a couple weeks after watching the end. So that's actually
it could have been after he ran out on the junkie girl. He could have gone to his brother's house.
No, because he was late.
He was late. Yeah, exactly. He didn't have time to go to his brother's house. Right. Yeah. So when we get there to that episode, you guys can confirm that, but I'm pretty sure that's a continuity issue in the show.
Yeah. Well, maybe when he was leaving his brother's house saying, I got a plane to catch, he meant I've got a dragon to chase.
Yeah, I've got a hooker in my room.
Maybe
I don't think she was a hooker. I just think she was pathetic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
maybe
that's
he was just using that as an excuse to leave his brother's house, and then he went to the hotel and he meant the next day. I don't know.
I guess, yeah, sure. I mean, you can make any reason,
but they definitely
lead
you. They definitely lead you to believe that when he leaves Liam's house, that he's going directly to the plane.
It does seem that way, yeah.
Yeah.
So another thing,
but
go ahead.
He's trying to get Liam to come with him, so I think that he wouldn't leave such a short period of time. Come with me right now. No, Liam's not going to leave his fucking wife and baby right this second to come to the airport with you. So
you're right. Yeah.
And he's high as fuck. You got to think his judgment's going to be probably
there's
stellar.
that too.
So all right. So this episode 7, I think, is the first time that we mention Locke in a box. I don't remember it happening before, but I heard it in last night. And so for the listeners, you got that to look forward to this week. We have noticed that Locke has this sort of ability to pop out of the jungle at the opportune moment, and Ben coined it Locke in the box. And so I thought that had happened earlier in our recording, but I guess it wasn't. I guess it was episode 7.
I think that we had mentioned that Locke keeps just randomly popping up in White Rabbit, where Jack almost fell off the stupid cliff, and Locke was just kind of like, oh, hey, how you doing? Do you know?
Yeah, he was right there.
Yeah. So I think that we've mentioned that Locke pops up, but maybe this episode was the first one where Ben actually started using Lock in a Box, and then the rest of us started using Lock in a Box.
Yes, I think that's what happened. Oh, you know what I forgot to mention? I don't know if you noticed this here, but we bought Christy and I new webcams because we both had shitty laptop cameras. And if you go back and look at all the other videos, our faces are like blurry. Although now, like, you can probably see all the blemishes on my face instead of
God.
having
and
I
I threw away all my makeup because I hadn't worn it in a year. So I was like, this is all probably nasty. And then this morning I'm like, shit, I don't have any concealer for this kind of pimple.
Happens. Yeah.
And I'm going to have to do something about my curtains too, because I do have a curtain up, even though it just looks like there's brightness coming in.
It looks a little bit like God is like beaming in on you.
It looks like the eternal light of Jesus.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, I'm not. Yeah, no.
Okay, I'm not. No.
I'm going to go buy blackout curtains.
And also in this episode, which is something very exciting, especially for those of you who are rewatching this with us as opposed to watching it for the first time, which I know some of you are, like Derek. But Ben, when he wrote his outline for this, was kind enough to get us all of the lyrics to "You All Everybody," and they're bad. Yeah, they're bad. And I've seen the show 5 or 6 times and never knew that there were other lyrics besides "You All Everybody." So look forward to that tomorrow or today at patreon.com/spacebearmedia. You can have it early. Otherwise, tomorrow.
And are you gonna play it and sing the song for us?
I am not,
because you're a musician. You could do it.
Guitars.
I'm sure I could.
Right behind you.
I could give it a shake, but no, that's not going to happen.
No. Okay.
No, I won't stoop to that level.
All right. Question of the week.
Oh,
we're gonna keep doing this too. So, who is the most fuckable villain of all time? Oh, shall I go first?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with something contemporary and say Loki. I like Loki. I'd fuck Loki. Dead air, guys. Somebody.
Yeah.
Nothing. No go on that.
Well, I just finished reading a really, really good book, and there was a villain that became very fuckable.
That's it. That's all you got to say. Perfect. So Christy, I say Loki. Christy says someone in a book. Awesome.
Can I say what the book was?
Of course.
Okay. So I read a book called The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Okay. Very good book. And yeah, the villain in there was definitely fuckable. So.
Oh, all right. Ben?
As I'm thinking through this, I'm finding that there's not really a whole lot of great female villain characters that come to mind. To be honest,
how about Sharon Stone and Basic Instinct? Or how about what about Maleficent? That could be Angelina Jolie.
Not really into her.
You don't like Disney? You don't like Angelina Jolie? Oh well.
Yeah, she was never really my cup of tea. I don't know. I don't really have one. I can't think of one right off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to start submitting these beforehand, apparently. All right. Anything else going on with you guys?
And aliens. I'd fuck the queen alien. Just see what happens.
The xenomorph?
You would fuck the xenomorph? Well, I mean, how does that work?
We don't know if the queen alien was a xenomorph, though. The queen alien lays eggs that turn into xenomorphs, but it's sort of a chicken and egg thing. Nobody actually knows where the queen came from, at least not in that movie.
I would think of it kind of the same as bees. Point. Like when the queen dies, then another one of the babies is nurtured to become the queen or whatever.
Yeah, I never really thought about that in the flick, how you don't really know where she comes from.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, but you would fuck her.
I guess so.
And both of her faces.
Yeah.
Okay.
Double head.
Wow. Okay. You know what? I don't know if I have any. Oh, yes, I do. There was one other thing that hit me when I was listening to it last night. because somehow while we were recording this, Christy, you and I mentioned how every vacation we ever take together is wild and crazy. And we recorded this before our vacation this year when we drank so much that I came home and had a seizure. Hey, look at Wiley.
Hey, so this is Wiley. What are you doing, buddy? What are you doing?
And so I'm listening.
Popping in to say hi.
Hi, Wiley. So I'm listening to it last night and we're like, oh yeah, our vacations are always crazy. And I'm like, oh my God, this version of Lacy didn't know what was to come.
Yeah. I think that we're going to have to calm down our vacations a little bit in the future.
Wow.
We're getting too old. I don't know what kind of 40-year-olds do bar crawls except for us. And good God.
But at the same time, I don't understand how I did not have a hangover at all that entire week. And I pretty much kept up with you. So I don't know. Maybe I ate more than you did. I don't know.
That could be. I tend to get wasted and forget to eat food.
I do that too, but I really tried hard to remember this time, Christy, you need to eat.
Yeah.
So
I think my problem was that the only thing that I was really eating were weed cookies.
They were really good.
They were really good. Yeah, they were really good. Thanks to our friend whose name I won't say. Go.
Right.
Oh, you got a villain?
I do. Sylvia Hex from Blade Runner 2049. She played the android woman.
Yes.
Yeah, the Dutch girl that played her.
Yeah. Yep. She's hot and she's got a lot of good punches and stuff. Yeah. She's hot. Or maybe
and Famke Janssen is the Phoenix.
When was she a villain?
Didn't she turn into the Phoenix, which was a villain?
Oh, in X-Men. Yes and no.
I got a weakness for Dutch girls then.
The Phoenix, I mean, that's a gray area. The Phoenix is still a hero, but in the
gray area.
Like Jean Grey. Yes, yeah, it was Jean Grey.
Yeah, okay.
It's a gray area in the comic that they put into the film where she like loses her shit. I guess you could call that a villain, but she's more of just like a tortured soul who can't control her powers. But yeah, also ridiculously hot. So I will accept.
I got another one.
All of a sudden, everybody's got.
Yeah.
All right, go.
Lucy Liu and Kill Bill.
Ooh, that's a good one. Okay, yeah.
I forget her name in the movie, but Helena Bonham
Carter.
Yeah, in the Harry Potter movies.
Bellatrix.
Yeah, she's awesome in everything that she does. Honestly, villain, hero, whatever. She's fucking great. All right, guys. Here are the things. Cersei Lannister. Oh, they're just.
Oh.
They're all coming to me now. They're all coming to me now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, why am I having a brain fart? Emilia Clarke's character, is she a hero or a villain?
Daenerys
Targaryen.
Not really my type.
She's a little bit of both.
Yeah, she's a little bit of both too. Which really, honestly, I mean, if every villain is a little bit of both, right?
And I do like her better with dark hair in real life.
Agreed. Yeah. The blonde hair is not. The bleach blonde is not.
She has the most incredible eyebrows ever. Like they do all kinds of fucking weird shit.
I wonder if she's related to Boone.
Booth.
To Booth, right. Yeah. All right, guys. Here's what you can do this week. You can go to patreon.com/spacebearmedia and pledge $5 and listen to episode 7 right now with no ads in it. Or you can go to spacebearmedia.com and check out our new website. We do have merch for sale. Christy, bring your boobies up slightly. Ta-da! There's a shirt I sent you. Yo, we see it.
I need to get the lighting a little bit better, but yeah, it's a great shirt.
Yeah. So we have got other merch and fun things there too. So that's all the stuff. And tomorrow, episode 7, the Moth, Charlie, Ben. We'll see you there. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, I couldn't find the stop button. Bye.